Hello everybody, welcome to my 96th VBA 2010 tutorial. This tutorial is going to show you how to use the file system object to search for folders within your computer. So it's a very useful thing to be able to do, and it's something that quite a lot of people at work come and ask me for sometimes. So well, first of all, we're just going to create ourselves a sub procedure. So find files, and what I'm going to do is I've got a folder in my example folder, and I've just created a few workbooks that are pretty similar. And I'm just going to get it to search this folder and list all of the files in it on my worksheet. So that's first of all, we need to create a couple of objects. So I'm going to dim my object FSO as object, dim my object folder as object. So we've got an object which is our file system object that we're going to use to search, and then a folder which is our folder that we're going to give it that we're going to search in. So we need to set our file system object. So object FSO equals, and we use our create object again, and this time we want to do scripting dot file system object, and then we want to create our folder, and at the same time we'll search for our files. So set object folder equals object FSO dot get folder open brackets, and then we want the file path of our folder. So if we go in here and copy that, and there we go, and close brackets. Let me just make my project browser a bit smaller so you can see everything. And so now we've created our we've searched our system for all the files in our folder, and our object folder has within it all of the files in that folder. So I'm going to loop through those files. So I want to do for each object file in object folder dot files. This is going to loop through all of the files in the folder for me, and it will give me a file object. So I'm just going to write them out onto the screen. So I need a counter. So count equals 1, and then in here count equals count plus 1, and then we want to write it out. So this workbook dot sheet, and then sheet 1 dot cells counter comma 1 dot value equals, and then object file dot path, and we could do dot name, so I'll do dot name in the next column. So and let's do dot name in column 2. So let's press play on this. And it's coming up with an application or object defined error. And for some reason it can't find anything. And that's because I've used the wrong name for my variable here. So put count. I normally call my counters counter, so I don't know why I've called it count this time, but let's press play. And then look at our sheet 1, and you'll notice that in column 1, so we have the full file path, and then in column 2 we have the name of the file. including the extension. So that is essentially how we would search a folder, and we can use it for any folder. So let's say I go back into my examples one and we take that out and then press play, and then look at this, and then we've got all of our files in that folder instead. So that is really useful. You can actually start to do other things then, so you could combine it with your workbook objects. So that's something that I'm going to do in the next tutorial, and it will let me open up all of the files in a certain folder and then work with them. So that's going to be it for this tutorial. Thanks for listening, and I hope to catch you soon.